Good afternoon. I call the Village of Messina Board of Trustees, August 16, 2016 meeting to order. Roll call, Mr. Otto.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carl.
Here.
Mr. Deshays.
Here.
Mr. Lemire.
Here.
I'm here. Entertain a motion for the approval of minutes for June 21st, 2016 minutes.
Second.
Mr. Lemire, second by Mr. Deshays. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Reports of officers and committees, treasurer's report, Ms. Charlotte.
There's a summary of updated May revenue and expense to budget reports under number 1. They're there for the 5 major funds. The annual state report for joint recreation for fiscal year ending 5/31/2016 was electronically filed with the Office of the State Comptroller on July 25th. The annual report for the village deadline is August 31st. I am currently working on that report and hope to have it completed by that time. Both reports will be available in my office for your review. I will also provide you with final revenue, expense, and balance sheets for the major funds once they're completed. Through close of business Friday, we had collected $5,388,353.33, which is approximately 88.7% of the tax warrant. This was the same percentage we had collected during the same time period last year. Sales tax received from St. Lawrence County for the fourth quarter of our fiscal year was in the amount of $435,921.02. This was $12,115.44, or a 2.7% decrease over the same quarter last year. Our total tax revenue for the 15-16 fiscal year was $1,718,388.29. This is an overall decrease of $66,670, or 3.73% from the amount we received last year. We did come in $23,938 over the budgeted amount of $1,694,450. On August 11th, we made a payment on the Maple East Orvis Street Water Sewer Line Replacement Bond. This payment consisted of $114,000 in principal and $16,348 in interest. The remaining balance on this bond is $366,000, and it matures in August of 2019. On September 1st, we have the final bond payment of $488,839 due to New York State EFC on the $9.7 million wastewater treatment plant serial bond. This was an interest-free bond issued by the village in April of 1899. And there are no action meetings on the report for this evening.
Questions for Ms. Charlotte? Thank you. Committee reports, code enforcement, Mr. Carvel, Mr. Lemire.
No.
Economic Development Committee, Mr. Othel, Mr. Lemire. Fire Committee, Mr. Carvel, Mr. Lemire.
We're going to meet, we haven't met yet, but we're going to meet tomorrow night.
Personnel Committee, Mr. Carvel, Mr. Deshays.
Haven't met, haven't had anything going on lately.
Police Committee, Mr. Carvel, Mr. Deshays.
Met with the chief, everything was going as normal, I guess. We say normal, so.
Chief, anything? Recreation Commission, Mr. Deshays.
The beach fees this year are down to $2,100. And they figured probably because the weather was so warm, people took advantage not to go to the beach, I guess, it was too hot. But that's very unusual. But the arena rental is up $1,600 from last year. The concession stand's up $500 from last year. And they were just wondering, because maybe trouble with the beach fees might have been because Barnhart's having a problem. They're thinking they're letting the state go out there for not paying their fees, so they figured that influx came over to our beach. Hopefully they'll get that fixed up so they can maintain a balance. Frog jumping contest was very well attended. They have inline hockey each Tuesday at 3 p.m. They have hockey skill week, it's gonna be August 1st to August 5th, which we just finished. There's 35 kids are signed up for that. That was from 9:30 to 11:30 every morning, those mornings. The bids are out for the flat roof project from the arena. And the whole bidder was, one Governor, RS, what's the other initial?
RSI.
They bid $62,942, that's the low bid, whether it's gonna be accepted or not. I think he was supposed to get with you, wasn't he?
Yeah, their board accepted it, and I signed the
Yeah.
contract.
Okay, we did. Minor hockey registration is ongoing. The softball season is in the playoffs, they're winding down their season. Summer program is all done, kids are getting ready to go back to school shortly. The locker room, the new locker rooms down the arena will be 3 or 4 weeks for completion. It's a beautiful setup, they did a beautiful job down there. And they have pickleball courts, which is picked up, they got 2 courts at the Alcove Field, play pickleball. And that's what, the end of my report.
Thank you. Street Committee, Mr. Offeld, Mr. Levere.
I had a discussion with Haas last week, and Matt and I had talked as well. The work on West Orvis and on West Hatfield, as everybody's seen, is done, and
Good job.
they did a fantastic job.
You're well
It
committed.
looks great, as well as the sidewalk at the school. They've got it done from Nightingale up to Prospect. And they did it on the south side of School Street, it looked very nice. So the plan is to have it all done before school starts. And that was that was a request that came, I believe, from the school last year, safety concern. The village reacted in a positive way. Other than that, Matt, you got anything else?
No, that sums it up nicely.
Thank you. Water and Sewer, Mr. Offeld, Mr. Levere. Initial public comment period. As always, we ask you to please stand and state your name for the record. Initial public comment period. Seeing none, moving on. There is no old business. Under new business, A, award bid, precast concrete sections and PVC grade rings. You should have a memorandum from Superintendent Fayad.
So moved.
Second.
Is that Mr. Carville?
Yep.
Mr. DeShays? Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Proposed resolution to renew contract with Harold Granger Services for insurance claims administration and risk management services from September 1, 2016 to September 1, 2017.
So moved.
Mr. Levere.
Second.
Second by Mr. Carville. Discussion? All those in favor signify, I'm sorry, resolution individually. Mr. Offeld?
Aye.
Mr. Carville?
Aye.
Mr. DeShays?
Aye.
Mr. Levere?
Aye.
Resolution carries. Proposed resolution to renew contract with Arthur J. Gallagher and Company for September 1, 2016, 2017. You have a small package there of a few things. We met yesterday with Kevin Berry, Harry Granger, and village clerk Wayne Chatelain. Kudos to the village clerk for working really hard on insurance. You'll see the numbers that are there. We went out and shopped our insurance, and we saved about 2.5% by shopping, so saved some money this year, so great work by the village
Nicely
clerk.
done.
So to entertain a motion for the resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Levere, second by Mr. Offeld. Discussion. Resolution poll individually. Mr. Offeld.
Aye.
Mr. Carville.
Aye.
Mr. DeShays.
Aye.
Mr. Levere.
Aye.
Resolution carries. D, proposed resolution authorizing for submission of grant application to local initiative support cooperation for the zombie and vacant property remediation and prevention initiatives. It's a long one. As you know, the state has passed a zombie property law now, and there's a grant available, which we're currently working on with code enforcement and a number of other people working on putting together an application which is due Friday. Take advantage of the funding that's available to work within the confines of the state's regulation and to do some things.
So move.
Mr. Otto, second by Mr. Revere. Discussion. Resolution, poll individual. Mr. Otto.
Aye.
Mr. Carl. Mr. Deshaies.
Aye.
Mr. Revere.
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Tim, just a question on that. Is this the, is the zombie and vacant properties remediation initiative, is that where you go back on the local banks or the prime lenders? If somebody, there's two initiatives out there, and there's more than two initiatives, quite a few initiatives. And I remember reading that there was one of them, if somebody defaulted and just walked away from their property, the village could, or whomever, the municipality could go back to the bank that held the mortgage to start with. Is this,
Correct. Under the new law, they'll be required to register those. as
so it is
vacant.
part of this it's the zombie law?
Yes.
Okay, because there was another one out there, I can't remember what, you know what I'm talking about, Matt? I can't remember what the name of
I
that one was.
believe they're closely related.
Okay, all right.
The one that creates your registry is significant to us because we were looking at a registry, and there's actually a specific language in there that prevents some of what we were looking at doing.
Okay.
Because they didn't want to double dip and hammer the banks twice.
Right.
But then there was this additional one that I initially heard from the Assemblywoman's office about the grant opportunity.
I can't believe it got by the banking industry, to be perfectly honest with you. Maybe, I don't know, somebody was sleeping or something, I don't know, maybe something else happened. but-
Yeah.
Very well, thank you.
And there's two things that this grant will essentially allow us to do, or to apply for, to allow us to. One is to manage current zombie properties and vacant properties, right, so create a database and manage it. And then the second piece is to prevent properties from becoming zombie properties in the first place. So there's an outreach program, counseling available to get people who are struggling with their mortgage or whatever. So it's kind of a twofold grant. So if successful, it can help us deal with the properties and hopefully prevent further ones from becoming zombies.
Thank you.
Discussion, impound bicycles at Messina Police Department. You have a letter from the Executive Director, Mr. Wayne Lejean, who's here tonight from the Greater Chamber of Commerce. I'll turn it over to Mr. Lejean.
Thank you for your time. We had kind of an idea that maybe it would be in our interest in the area to create some bike tours, and maybe it would be an idea to try to get the bikes from the impound. So, of course, I still have a lot of planning to do with it, but kind of lynches on getting the bikes. So, worst case scenario, it doesn't pan out, we still auction them off for the organization that does, but if it does pan out, it would be a great spot to rent them at the locks. We can rent them at the chamber and create bike tours for Messina, the park systems, and have like kind of trails that go with the Seaway Trail, the Aluminum Trail, and of course, if there's any other programs that are going to be happening, we can incorporate.
I think it's a great idea.
Yep.
Thank you.
Wait, how you gonna keep them locked up and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, we've got room
Yeah,
over the
stuff to
chamber.
think about
We've
there.
got a huge basement. In fact, actually, the basement under the synagogue itself is completely empty.
Mhm.
So we do have space for the winter months to keep them housed and
Good.
not damaged.
Will you be partnering at all with the bicycle group?
Absolutely, I've already kind of made some soft contacts, checked out insurances. Got to see if I can justify it, but I think maybe with some sponsors, we might be able to facilitate, make sure one of the stops is a business or something like that.
Sure.
you know.
Cool.
It's good for you too, right? Good. I don't have a problem with it at
I
all.
wasn't sure the process in that, so we had a discussion with the chief and of course the mayor, and this was the first step.
Good idea, Nathan.
Well, thanks.
Wonderful idea.
So obviously, we will consult with the village attorney on this.
As long as it's legal, I see no problem.
We're talking, the chief and I looked earlier today, going back to 2004, I mean, it's minimal. It's $100 or a couple $100 a year essentially that the auction represents, and we weigh it against what this could do both recreationally and tourism-wise for the community. It's a better way to spend
Yeah.
our money. So, okay, so we'll pursue it and report back to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Voucher warrants.
I move that the voucher signed by trustee Carvel and myself be approved.
Second. Second by Mr. Carvel. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Monthly reports, there's several on the table we have an opportunity to look at. Communications and correspondence, I do have one. John Misha, our attention that Harold Hal Smith, who lived a number of years here in Messina, graduated from Messina Central. What would have been his 100th birthday is next week. Mr. Smith was born in Michigan, but lived most of his childhood here and graduated from Messina Central in 1936. Went on to live in Utica for a while as a disc jockey, and before he ultimately moved out to California and Hollywood, and as you know, acted in several shows and some movies. So I prepared a proclamation that'll be effective for next week, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Michaud in a minute because I think he's got an event planned for next week on the birthday. So, whereas the Village of Messina appreciates its heritage and is committed to valuing and recognizing the accomplishments of its citizens, the Village of Messina desires to honor its native son, Harold Hal J. Smith, on his 100th birthday and recognizes his remarkable and successful career in Hollywood on the radio, stage, television, and in movies. Prior to finding fame, Harold Hal J. Smith grew up in the village of Brighton Street, in the village on Brighton Street, and realized from a very young age he was destined to entertain. Mr. Smith sang with various local big band acts, performed at the former Shines Theater on Main Street. Following Hal's graduation from Messina High School on Bridges Avenue in 1936, he decided to pursue entertainment full-time as a disc jockey before entering into the United States Army during World War II in the Entertainment Special Services Unit. His many talents eventually landed him in Hollywood, where he continued to dedicate his life to making others smile. His legacy of voicing hundreds of famous cartoon voices, such as Al in Winnie the Pooh, Uncle Tex in the Flintstones, and various voices in David and Goliath, DuckTales, I'm not going to read all this, but there's a number of them, and moving on to such roles as Otis Campbell and the Andy Griffith Show, and his roles with Red Fox Comedy Hour. And there's a number of other ones listed in the resolution that I won't go to. Despite his many successes, Hal Smith never forgot his hometown of Messina or his many friends and supporters. Although he passed away in 1994, Messina remains very proud of his many talents and his achievements. So now, therefore, I, Timmy J. Courier, Mayor of the Village of Messina, on behalf of our community hereby proclaim August 4th, 2016, what would have been his 100th birthday, as Harold Hal J. Smith Day. So, Mr. Michaud, you have something planned for next week during the birthday?
Yes.
You want to tell us about it?
Okay, his birthday is on next Wednesday, August 24th. Would be 100. It's the 23rd at the Messina Public Library from 4 to 7 p.m., which is next Tuesday, a week from now. So I'll be at the library right now, a week from now. And what I'm going to do is show various films, probably 90 minutes worth. It could go on forever, but 90 minutes. I've chosen what I can, or what I feel about his career. I also have a birthday cake and ice cream, and I'm really his official biographer too, so I have copies of my book there, the ones that are left. There's not too many left. I'm hoping a lot of people attend. It's a positive thing for Messina. It's something I've been waiting to do for a long time, and I hope the community will come and support it. I really appreciate you doing the proclamation for Hal. It means a lot to me, and with the proclamation, I feel like one episode called A Plaque for Mayberry, where he accepted a plaque for one of his descendants from who burned the bridge during the Revolutionary War to save Mayberry. And he gave a big lecture. But I could talk too long about Hal. I know too much about him. But I'm sure in spirit he's here, and all his friends are here. And they would be here with me, sitting with me, if they were here today, from all his classmates in high school that supported him, and all the people he knew from Messina that he kept in touch with over the years. So I really, really appreciate you doing the proclamation. It means a lot to me, and if there's anyone out there who knew Hal personally, I'm sure they would feel the same way as me. There's not many people left really in the scene that actually knew Hal. I never met him, but I talked to him many times over the phone. Ryan Martin knows. I don't know if Ryan, but he gave me, I don't know, maybe 100 autograph photos in a period of 4 or 5 years, and I gave them to people. Someone wanted an autograph photo of Hal, he would send it to me. Even my college professors, my friends, everyone in the scene. It was amazing what he did for me. In fact, when I graduated from high school, he sent me a check for $100 and a couple other gifts. I didn't expect that. It was just a thrill. I was so happy. So he's forever in my heart as a role model. So I think I've said enough, but you understand what I'm stating, right?
Sure, we do. Thanks. Thanks for what you're doing. We appreciate you keeping us on our radar screen and the fact that you're going to honor them next week. So hopefully it's well attended and the citizens partake on it.
4 to 7 p.m. next Tuesday.
Tuesday at 7 o'clock at the library.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Further communications and correspondence. I think, Ms. Rockwell, you had something?
Yeah, oh, yes, I mentioned to you guys, I was reading the minutes from the Housing Authority, May 19th minutes, this was back in late June. I saw they had a write-off, yeah. Can you maybe find out from the executive director what exactly that is? It was to the tune of $6,800. As everybody knows, they were late on one of their bills to us, and it just kind of raised a red flag with me. There may be a perfectly good reason why they wrote it off. Maybe there's no chance at all of getting it, but I think we're owed at least that. And I'd like to, maybe the next meeting or two, if she should come up, and she doesn't have to appear, just, fill you in and fill us in.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get with her. Apparently I missed that first
No
email. so
problem.
my
No
apologies.
problem. Summer's busy, and I understand. I just had to check, I had to check Mark back to it for this meeting, and I should have told you earlier, but. The other thing, I see we got a letter from the Department of Health, Mr. Brandt, Public Health Engineering, Engineer 2 at the Canton District Office. He was talking about article in the Watertown Daily Times about improvements that, we were discussing out at the intake. I didn't think it was such a good idea, and he listed his reasons, and I can't say that he's right or wrong with what he sent, with what he was suggesting here in the letter that we received, but what we can do is hold on to this letter, and we can say, okay, if you don't want us to do it there, where do you want us to do it?
Amen.
So, it could be ammunition for the task force. I gotta be kind of walking a tightrope there, as far as what I can say about that, but it might be something you wanna hang on to, and later on, ask where they suggest that we do make improvements if they don't want us to do it there. And he made some very good reasons. He's looking at the science of it, which is probably, I'm glad he's doing that, because we all drink that water. But anyway, that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Further communications correspondence. Closing public comment period. Questions from the meeting?
So under 6D, the zombie property grant, I kind of missed a little bit of, can you go into specifics about what that grant will pay for again, please?
But we're still putting together, it's due on Friday, but essentially there's two pieces of it that we're looking at. One would be, it would help us manage current zombie properties, so it allow us to create our own database, dedicate some staff to that. In this case, it would probably be increased hours for a current part-time employee. So it's essentially to manage current vacant or zombie properties within the community. The second piece of it is to prevent properties that are either at risk or will be at risk from becoming zombie properties. So this will be connecting a particular, say, homeowner with programs that are out there to maybe manage their money better, programs that are available if you're having trouble paying your mortgage, to get them the kinds of support and those types of things. So again, to deal with current zombie properties and to reduce the number of zombie properties that occur in the future.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Further questions? I do need a brief executive session for the purpose of collective bargaining.
So
Didn't
moved.
say that today. I do not expect to take action. Mr. Alford, second by Mr. LeBear. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.